Hi guys! So I started filming this video outside because I thought that since the weather was really nice it would be quite cool to do what a lot of other YouTubers have been doing, which is film in the garden. And it failed completely and utterly miserably, and you know what, I'm really annoyed because I wish that I had not deleted the footage because I would have included it here as like a sort of blooper because it was quite funny actually. My hair was stuck in my lip gloss because it was windy and the wind kept sort of picking up and then going down, and I had sun on one part of my face but shade on another part of my face. It just was not a success. So I'm back inside to film the video for today, which is the 90s tag. I watched Zoe from Zoella and Tanya doing this tag yesterday and I thought it seemed really fun. It was right up my alley. I was born in 1989 and so I grew up all the way through the 90s. And yeah, I thought the questions seemed quite fun. So let's get started. Question 1. What was your favourite Disney film? I had a lot of favourite Disney films. I loved them all. My top 3 would be Aladdin, The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. I loved all 3 of them so much. But if I had to just pick one, if I had to just sort of make my sort of final decision and commit, it would be Aladdin. I absolutely loved Aladdin. I still love Aladdin. We only actually got this in DVD like last year, I think, which was shameful because I've wanted to watch it for so long because we had the video and we still have it somewhere, and I watched that video to death when I was little. I absolutely loved it. I love all of the songs, I love the characters, I love the storyline, I love the romance between these guys. It just was great. And yeah, it's got to be my #1 favourite. The next question is, what was your favourite music artist? Now this is kind of tricky because mine changed, as most people's do, throughout childhood. So the one that I remember the most from when I was really quite small, and I think this will be the case for a lot of people my age, or certainly a lot of girls my age, but it was the Spice Girls. I was the hugest Spice Girls fan. I remember one Christmas where I think everything that I got was Spice Girl themed. I think it was when Spice World came out, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it was. In fact it was, because I got the Spice World album, I got the film, the Spice World movie film, I had a Spice Girls beanbag, I got a Spice Girls little diary notebook thing, Spice Girls chocolate. I remember there was Spice Girls chocolate that I got. I got a t-shirt that had the Spice Girls on it. I was literally obsessed. So yeah, from when I was really small it would be the Spice Girls. Then when they kind of disintegrated and I got a little bit bigger, I became obsessed with Steps and S Club 7. I just thought these guys were the greatest. I still am a little bit bitter that I never got to go to an S Club 7 concert. However, the first ever concert that I did go to was Steps. I missed the first time around when I was supposed to go when I had tickets because I had really bad tonsillitis, but we then got tickets for their Christmas tour and it was so good. It was such an amazing show, and so yeah, absolutely loved these guys. And I also loved the S Club 7 TV series. I've still got the box set of LA 7 somewhere and I just thought it was so good. I was completely obsessed. And then when I got a little bit older from that and I started liking boys, I became head over heels for Busted and McFly. So that was sort of like early teens kind of thing. And yeah, thought they were amazing. I went to see Busted, I think 3 times maybe, 2 anyway. And one of the times was when McFly had just sort of come on the scene and they supported them. And yeah, absolutely obsessed. The next question is, what was your favourite sweeties or favourite candy? And I don't know, I find this one quite hard. I remember going through a phase where I absolutely loved Dairy Milk Caramel, or like the Cadbury Caramel bars, and I used to eat them all the time. So I'm probably going to say that, but I can't think of any kind of like specific like really childlike sweets that I used to really love. Which is mad because I have the world's most enormous sweet tooth, so that seems crazy, but yeah, just sort of Dairy Milk chocolate probably. Question 4 is, what was your favourite board game or school game? Now, I was not really a massive kind of like board game player when I was small. I do remember that I had like a kid's version of Scrabble that on the back of it, you had the Scrabble board. Oh, I wish I could find that actually. You had the Scrabble board, but on the back of it, it had words already kind of like written down, and it had loads of pictures on it. And I really liked to fill that in with the little kind of tabs. But for me, I was much more of a kind of like imaginative, pretend that I'm in some sort of like film or book sort of child. Like I used to get, like, me and my brother and my next door neighbour used to play all these very elaborate games in the garden, which were basically, it was basically a story. We would decide, I would assign characters. I remember all of these games and they were so much fun. But yeah, rather than kind of like the traditional kind of like, oh, playing like tag in the playground kind of thing, I was much more of a, right, let's have a story, let's have a theme for this story, and we'll all have characters and it'll be great. So that was more my kind of cup of tea in terms of games. Question 5 was, what was your favourite McDonald's Happy Meal toy? And mine was, I think Zoe said this, or Tanya said this, one of the two of them said this, but when they had the little Beanie Babies, I loved them, and we ended up with loads of them actually, which was weird because we didn't really go to McDonald's a lot. Like I wasn't a massive McDonald's fan. But I do remember seeming to go very clever marketing ploy McDonald's, because I do remember ending up going to McDonald's a lot more than we ever did otherwise when it was the Beanie Babies, and ended up with like we ended up with about 5 little tiny like koalas, and there were giraffes, I think. There were lots of them, but yeah, they were probably my favourite. Question 6, what was your favourite book? Again, I think this one's quite hard because like as you get older, like you have like favourite books and favourite toys and favourite things from like a certain age, and then as you get older it obviously changes. But I decided to just pick 2 standouts from sort of childhood. The first is The Secret Island. Now I don't know does this book have to be written in the 90s? I really hope it doesn't. But this is The Secret Island by Enid Blyton, and this is my favourite childhood book ever. I've talked about this in another video. I think it was my 50 random facts video, but my mum read this to me when I was little, and she read it when she was little, and my granny read it to her when she was small, and then I went on to read it myself over and over and over again. I still sometimes read this just because it makes me feel nostalgic. Love it to pieces. And the other one that I've chosen is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I had the entire like Narnia series in a big box set, and it's such a beautiful set actually, and I loved all of them. The next question is, what was your favourite clothing store? Now, I don't know, I find that quite hard because I was like a small child in the 90s. Well, like not a small child, but like I was born in 89, and so I was like 10 by 1999. And so sort of before that I didn't really go shopping. So yeah, I didn't have much of a kind of like dedicated interest to fashion during the 90s that I can remember. But as far as kind of getting clothes if I went out shopping was sort of concerned, I do remember there's a shop called MK1 in Glasgow, and I think it was like a chain. There would have been lots of them sort of everywhere, I think. I remember getting a lot of nice clothes out of there. I also liked Tammy. I also liked the kind of like 9 to 15 section in New Look. So yeah, those would probably be a few standouts. I've had to change position because my foot's gone to sleep. The next question is, what was your favourite Nickelodeon Junior show or NickJnr show? Now, this one's more aimed at kind of like American kids or people, I think, because we didn't have NickJnr. But I do remember whenever we used to go on holiday, we would go on holiday up north, and the hotel that we stayed in every single time had NickJnr, or it had Nickelodeon on the TV. I remember my brother and I used to really enjoy watching the shows on NickJnr whenever we were sort of away on holiday. So a few that I can remember that I liked, and I think these were on NickJnr, they might not have been, but I loved Johnny Bravo, which now I watch back little snippets of, you can see snippets of it and stuff on YouTube, and some of it's so inappropriate, but we loved Johnny Bravo. Also loved, oh, what was that one, Wacky Races, is that what that was called? The one with Dick Dastardly and Muttley. That was Wacky Races, wasn't it? Anyway, the little kung fu dog thing, what was that? Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, it had a theme song as well. Oh, I can't remember it. Anyway, that was another one. Dexter's Lab. I feel like these were all in NickJnr. The Little Fairies. Powerpuff Girls. They weren't fairies. Okay. This is going well. Question 9 is, what did you used to watch when you came home from school? Now, this again kind of changes like throughout life and childhood. But I remember being quite small and coming home and watching Mop-a-Top's Shop, if anyone remembers this. Emma and I were talking about this recently, about shows that you would watch when you came home from school. So there was Mop-a-Top's Shop, loved that. Then there were things like Bernard's Watch, Zap, the comic book thing. There were a couple of things in that I didn't really like, but kind of overall it was alright. I can't remember if I watched this when I came home from school, because I don't think I did. I don't think it was on at that point, but I was addicted to Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was like my favourite childhood TV programme in that sort of bracket. So yeah, all those kind of things. I'm sure there's lots more, but at the moment my mind's kind of gone blank. Coming home from school, it was always the kind of like CITV or like CBBC shows that I used to watch. Art Attack, Blue Peter. So the next question is, what was your favourite Beanie Baby? And I've got some little guest stars right here for you guys. These are my favourite of the TY or Ty, I never knew how to say that, Beanie Babies. These little guys. This is Asia and this is Fairbanks, and I got them in Blackpool when I was on holiday when I was like, I don't know, maybe about 10. I always think of them as like a little pair. They're not, obviously, like they didn't sort of come together, but they're just so cute. Look at his little old man jumper and his little furry tummy. Oh, they're so cute. And then this little guy, he's just such a bright, pretty, fun colour, with his little bow on. And so these guys were my favourites, and they can sit, like their little legs, arms and legs like move, and they can sit down. Next question was, what was your favourite toys? And I had a complete and utter obsession with like Kitty in my pocket and Puppy in my pocket and all those guys. And I went to get them, and they are in a box on top of my wardrobe at the very back. How random. And I couldn't sort of reach it, but I did manage to get my little box with all of their little like tags things in it, which had like little profiles of them. And so these were like the little like collector things that came with them, and it told you like loads of stuff about the different little dogs and stuff. I'm not joking when I say I have hundreds of these. Just sit and like play for hours with these and create like stories for the families of dogs, and they used to become friends with other dogs and all these stuff. So I don't know if this is going to focus, it probably won't, but yeah, it had all the little kind of like all their names, like the little Kitty in my pocket one. So that's it for my 90s tag. I really hope that you enjoyed that, guys, and if you were a child in the 90s, please feel free to do this tag and leave it as a video response, or just leave me a link to it in the comments down below. Tell me in the comments what some of your favourite things from the 90s were, what your favourite TV shows were, or what your favourite Beanie Baby was, because I'd love to know. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, but thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to tag a couple of people in the description box down below, so go and check that out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye! The next thing that I picked up was another one of the 1 second gel nail polishes. Now, if you've seen a couple of my other videos, you'll have seen me raving about the pink one of this.